am just getting myself right. It's 1 o'clock on the dot, so I'm going to get cracking. I'm going to minimize the video. I'm sure. Let me know if you can't hear or can't see. I'll keep the chat open so I can see anything that pops up, and we'll get cracking. So we can get past this one. So make sure. Right, I'm just going to, while I'm at it, I've got to let people in, so just bear with me. There might be some latecomers, and I'll just make sure that I'm on top of that. Welcome, everybody. Oh, there's some more, which is awesome. Welcome to the webinar, the monthly webinar from Navigate Biz. So make sure you've got your notebook, your ideas, and your headphones, and let's get cracking. This is about some more people coming in. Awesome. This is about scaling your business, and I'm going to share with you my tips of what I did to build significant growth in my business in about 2 years. So there's a lot of context around that. So I just want to share that with you. I'm going to share some tools, some things that I'll be sending you so that you can go and do those, implement those tools in your business as well. And I'm going to be sharing some platforms, just like I did last month. So I've figured that was something that was quite useful. So I've decided that I will continue to do that. So we've still got people coming in, which is awesome. So let's get going. So first of all, we want to do our acknowledgement in the spirit of reconciliation. Navigate Biz acknowledges the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community. We pay our respect to their elders, past and present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples today. Let me just make absolutely sure that this thing is recording, because I'd hate to go through this and then, no, we're good. I hate to not do that. So for those of you who don't know, let me just go back. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Joanne Brooks. I'm a business owner, have been a business owner for the last 20 years. I've owned more than 15 businesses. Yes, the third line might sound impressive. Built a business from 0 to 30 million in 24 months, but we've got to put context around that. In that, it took me 20 years of business success and failure to get to that point. So there wasn't an overnight success by any means. I'm an author for sure. We work with industry partners, the Small Business Association Australia, Finance Brokers Association Australia, and the Franchise Council of Australia. I'm a keynote speaker and business mentor. So just for context as to how I would have authority to speak about this. So let's talk about why growth is important. A lot of business owners that I talk to and I'm mentoring and working with, they have the perspective that keeping it small is a safe place to be. Now, let me put a little bit more context about that. I've been working with a client of ours in Navigate Biz. They're going through the Biz Bootcamp program, and she's made the strategic decision that she actually wants to stay small. And that is perfectly okay. But what you want to make sure is that it's profitable and sustainable, and you can make something out of this business. So if you want to stay small because it's a side hustle or something that is just your focus, that's perfectly okay. But a lot of business people, they start a business for the purpose of growth, profit, lifestyle, impact. And sadly, we've all seen these rates before. 97% of failure rate of small businesses happens in the first 3 years. That's pretty scary. And less than 40% of businesses make a profit. So that's a equally scary statistic. Now, whether those percentages are correct, I don't really care. Well, I do, but what I'm most concerned about is they're just too high, whatever number it is. I've heard some people say, no, Joanne, it's only 60% of businesses fail. Even 60% is way too large. So scaling is a strategy to ensure, I'm sorry, I've just got to let some more people in as they come in, which is great that they're coming in. Scaling is your protection strategy. It is your risk mitigation strategy. So let's go and explore what some of those things look like. I want to share with you our success model to begin with. Some of you may or may not have seen this before. The success model, just close the chat. The success model sits around, you might have a great idea, but you're not sure how to execute it. And maybe the belief is fantastic, but the execution's not so great. You might have a great way, you might have some great ways of delivering something, but not quite refine the idea, the product, the offer, and the belief is wobbly, or you've got a gazillion% of belief, but you don't know how to execute it. What we know is when you've got idea, execution, and belief all wrapped up, focused, working on it, success is more likely to happen. And so what we're talking about today is the piece that sits in the execution piece, just for context for you. So I'm just keeping an eye on the chat to make sure that everything's fine and there's no dramas here. So, the first thing that you've got to be mindful of, is you could possibly appreciate the growth of a business from 0 to 30 million in 24 months took a lot of focus. There was a lot of commitment and discipline. So just be mindful that growth and scaling does take the next level of commitment, the next level of focus, and the continued discipline on working in your business. So you've got to be prepared to do that. So it's a focus, it's a mindset thing, right? So what does the scale strategy look like? The first question you've got to ask is, why would you want to scale? Why do you want to scale your business? What's the impetus? What's the trigger that gets you thinking about growing and scaling your business? First is, you might have the most amazing, audacious purpose, mission, values, goals, legacy goal that you're aiming for. Clearly, we all want to be profitable, and you might decide that improving your profitability position, one strategy might be about scaling your business, and scaling could be more people, more product, more collaboration, talking to people who can help you build your business. Sorry, just letting more people in as they come in, which is amazing. So scaling, you need to first think really seriously, why do you need to scale? Why do you want to scale? What I did, and I'll add more detail as we go, this business that I'm talking about, one of the strategies that we had for this business, and this business was what we call a registered training organisation. So it was an organisation that delivered formal qualifications. Unlike what Navigate, we don't do formal qualifications. So I was delivering certificates and diplomas across business and finance. So I was a registered training organisation, but I didn't have funding. My purpose and desire to scale was, I had a goal that we would be a university one day, that we would have representation across the whole of Australia, and that I wanted to help business owners be the best version of themselves that they could possibly be, accessing government funding, support them through qualifications, and then I could provide more products and value adds while they were studying their diploma of business. So the biggest problem I had was, at that time, when I first started that RTO, I didn't have the government funding. So I decided that I would go and find organisations that did, and I found 5 of my largest competitors in the RTO space, registered training organisation, and I managed to convince them to partner with me. And that was not an easy thing. That took a lot of negotiation, lots of conversations, lots of sharing my credibility with them. So I needed to share with them that I knew the industry, I knew what gap they had, I knew what gap I had, and I worked out that we could help each other. And what it would do would help me to achieve that legacy and improve profitability. And it did do those things, which was amazing. So the first thing you have to think about is, why do you believe you need to scale? It could be simply to build a sustainable business. Nick Marstall and I, we've started Navigate Biz, and we have always been speaking about that. To build a sustainable business, you need to, I'm just letting another person in, you need to build a business that has at least $2 million turnover and at least 5 staff, because that's pushing you out of the risk space of business failure and lack of profitability, which are the stats I showed you before. So be really clear about why you need to do this scaling.
How are you?
Just
you talk like a robot.
a whole bunch of people.
Like a robot.
Right, sorry, just need to, because I've done this as a meeting, not a webinar. It enables people to jump straight in on their audio. So strategy 1, or tip 1, that you need to be really, really mindful of is, think about the structure that your physical business operates under today. Many business owners start as a sole trader. Now, let me be really clear here. I am not a financial advisor. I am not qualified to give you financial advice in the structure under which you operate. What I am going to talk about is what I know from experience. So that's where I'm coming from here. Let me give you a scenario. Well, let me define what a sole trader is for the moment, for those of you who aren't familiar with that term. Sole trader is something like Joanne Brooks trading as Navigate. That's not the case, but Joanne Brooks trading as Navigate, and Joanne Brooks is the ABN holder, the Australian business number holder. So that ABN is associated directly with my name. My problem with that is, as I often say to business owners, what name is your business in? Joanne Brooks. Okay, cool. What name is your house in? Well, Joanne and Paul Brooks. Right. So do you realize that if there is legal action taken against your business, Joanne Brooks, ABN number, blah, 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 your home is at risk? And most people don't realize that. And it categorically is the case. If that legal action, and this is worst case scenario, right? If things go completely pear-shaped in the business, some sort of legal action, anything that is owned by the company, the business that trades under that name, Joanne Brooks, Bob Smith, whatever, ABN, their name of their car, their house, their property, their investment properties are all exposed to the risk of that legal action. And that's the last thing you want. The other things that aren't possible as a sole trader, let's say you're trading really well, you've decided to scale and you've been approached by somebody or you've approached them to invest in the business to give them a share of the business. Excuse me, you physically cannot do that under a sole trader structure. There's no shareholding in it. It's just you owning it. So you'd have to change it. Let's say you're incredibly profitable and you want to speak to your accountant, have some great tax planning strategies in place. There are no tax planning strategies available to you under a sole trader. You're getting the drift that this is not the right structure to trade under your business. And I know a lot of accountants will say to you, well, you're only small, you're just starting, it's not necessary. I actually call BS on that. For me, if you are going to start a business and your strategy is to scale your business, you should be thinking about what structure do I need that serves that scaling? Because yes, you can change it. It's just really frustrating. You've got to change bank accounts. You've got to change everything. You've got to set it all up. Yes, it will cost you money to do that at the beginning. However, I can guarantee you it's heaps cheaper than having legal action and being taken against you as a sole trader and putting your family assets at risk. So what's a corporate structure? It's something, let's navigate Proprietary Limited, for example. I've got two companies and both of them are under a company. Both of them I'm the sole trader. And it enables me to do a number of things, which I've done before. I invite staff to secure shareholding in the business. I invite investors to come in and invest in the business and work with me to build the business. No problem at all. It enables my accountant to create some really effective tax strategies for me. The bottom line of the message is if you are in business and you want to scale and grow, create a legacy, fulfill your purpose, create the structure from the beginning. Do it right from the beginning under whatever corporate structure they recommend. It could be a company, it could be a trust, it could be both. Who knows? Creating a company isn't overly expensive. The last time I did it was about $1,500. That could very well have changed. I get that. And yes, you've got fees each year. I get that. But the opportunity, if we're talking about scaling your business, you need the right structure in place so you can sell shareholding in the business. You can offer shareholding to staff. You can do some effective tax planning. That's the biggest message up there. One very important tip before you even think about scaling. The other thing is, if you're going to go and get agreements with organisations to collaborate with, I can tell you they will look at it much more favourably if it's ABC Proprietary Limited than John Smith, sole trader. The email is johnsmith@gmail.com. Be serious, get a company structure, a company domain, a company email, do all the things to set yourself right for the credibility and authenticness, if that's a word, to give people the sense that you mean business by being in business and scaling your business. So that's tip number one. Tip number two, you need to plan the pace. As I've already shared with you before, we grew from 0 to 30 million in 2 years. Now, let's be really clear about this. It took me 20 years to get my head around about how I was going to do that. So, one of the things, but it was still very fast. We went from 0 turnover with about 3 staff, and by 24 months, we had 110 staff. We went from 1 office to 4 offices. And so, even the complexity of employing people, the recruitment process, the training process, getting them a bum on a seat, like we physically had offices that people needed to sit at a desk. So there was no remote delivery here. It was all done through an office. So I needed all the offices, I needed the space, I needed to get leases, I needed to get a recruitment organization to help me. There were so many layers to this. So what my recommendation is to you, yes, you can do that fast building and scaling of your business, but when you're scaling at an excessive pace, the things that I noticed is that you can get pretty stressed, right? The level of stress can be significant. So pace it so those stress levels are maintained, because when you are in a place of stress, you don't make good decisions, all those sort of things. And so you're looking for the right cadence, the right pace that you can implement and monitor the systems that you need to have in place. Is it software? Is it locations? Is it staff? Making good decisions by pacing yourself correctly will give you the better outcomes. And it's something you need to manage and monitor constantly. So you need to have set your goals, work out the plan of what this is going to look like so it doesn't become unmanageable and that you become, so stressed that it's just, you're not making the right decisions. So that's my next advice, is to plan the pace of the growth. Next one. Not next one. What speaks to planning the pace? In this webinar, I want to show you some of the systems that I use, which I did last month, and I got the sense that it was well received. So I'm going to share with you at the moment. This is a screenshot of a platform that I use and I'm licensed to offer to business people. It's called the Wayfinder platform. It's a goal setting platform. It's a platform that you can implement all your goal setting within your business. You can have your team utilizing it. It's a leadership platform. It's a sales platform, and it's a place that you can keep everything in one place. So I'm actually going to jump out of the system. I'm going to just go straight there. This is the platform itself. Let me just go to the right spot that I want to go to. I've got things popping up in front of me that I don't want to see. So these are the goals, and these are live. I'm not hiding anything. This is completely what my goals look like and how I manage them. So you can see some of them, they're all a work in progress, and that's perfectly okay. So rebranding, you've all experienced and seen that Navigator's been through a rebranding. So I've done the website, done a few things that are already knocked off here. There's some programs you may be familiar with that I'm in the process of rebranding. So there's a whole bunch of, let me just go to home if I can. The only reason I show you this platform is there's not many platforms. It's not gone to where I want it to go. There's not many platforms that you can put all in one place and manage your goal setting, your tasks, your key result areas that you want to manage. And it can be for you as a business owner. It can also be for your staff. And so there's some amazing tools sitting in here. I'm going to show you something else that's sitting here. It's just a very useful diagnostic tool. So it can help you to understand. Some more people coming in, which is amazing. This is a platform that shows you a visual result of some of the analytics that you can put in here. You can see the diagnostics about organization, vision, market strategy, business model, marketing, sales, service. So it's an all-in-one platform that helps you to manage all the tasks that you need to undertake to, and as I said, to scale your business, the systems you need in place, because they could get out of hand. So just wanted to show that to you so that you can see there's some tools that are cost effective. They connect to your Outlook. They absolutely help you manage and not become overwhelmed, and helps you to manage the pace at which you're growing your business. So I just wanted to share that with you. So let me go on to the next slide without popping out. This might sound like the bleeding obvious, but you actually need to plan for your growth. So as I mentioned to you, I scaled it really quickly in a short space of time, but I had 20 years of understanding the market, the industry. So yes, absolutely. When you're going to plan for growth, you should be your own expert in the market in which you operate. So whether you're a broker, whether you're an accountant, whether you're a hairdresser, whatever you are, you should ultimately know the market. And if you don't feel you know it well enough, go do the research, check out your competitors. And so one of the things that I did, as I mentioned, I collaborated with some of my largest competitors in the market at the time. There were 5 very large RTOs that I approached, knocked on their door and said, this is who I am. This is what I want to do. What do you think? Now, before I did that, I did the research because, Australia is actually a small place. We all seem to know one another who are all hanging out in the same industry. So you should be able to find out fairly easily what are the things that they're doing well, what are the things that they have a gap in, and is it a gap that you can fill? So this is talking about collaborating with people. So that was definitely a strategy that I implemented in our business, and I do that today in Navigate. I proactively reach out to people who do the same thing as us, mentoring and coaching, and talk to them about how can we collaborate, because we've got each other's audience, because a lot of people do something slightly different in your industry, and maybe there's a gap you can fill. So prepare and get the knowledge and understand really intimately, how are you going to fill a gap in the market? Do you need to build your team? What does that look like? Does the team need to be employed, casual, contractors, outsourced, overseas, remote? Do they need to be located in a particular place? Do you need premises? And then most importantly, what are the products that you're going to offer? So you might have a product, but is there a version of the product that you can do a light version, a high-end version, an online version, a face-to-face version, pull a component out to make a new product? It could be any of those things that you can slice and dice what you do to help you to scale and be ready for growth. Now, I'm a huge believer in I will prepare my team and my locations ahead of time. Now, I'm not saying go out and spend a whole bunch of money in recruiting people, but I absolutely, even today at Navigate, I'm reaching out to people to say, this is my goal, this is my plan, I'm going to be ready at this point to bring you in as an outsourcer into this business. This is what I need you to do. Let's talk about what that looks like. So when we're ready to push the button, we are ready to go. There's no delay, there's no lag in implementing that growth strategy. So just be mindful of that. So I mentioned on the other slide, this is something I came across just recently. I can't go into it live because I don't actually have a license to it, but I just thought I would share because maybe you guys haven't heard about this. If you are an organization that is looking at further locations for your business, this is really cool. I'm going to go there and show you. Yes, I want to go to an external site. This is Gap Maps. So this is a platform. I actually met the lady who owns this at a conference during the week. Let me just go here. So this is what I love. You can put in there, you can see this little demo. I'm not doing anything, it's just running by itself. You can go and search a particular location, and they've actually got maps across, I think she said 31 countries. And let's say you are in, like she's ticking the boxes of commercial and education, medical and hospital, etc. It's telling you where the concentration of people are who might be your audience. So if you're going to open a new cafe or a new office, you absolutely need the intelligence of understanding how many people are going to walk past your office or your premises, if that's how you generate business, or one of the strategies you generate business. You don't want to be in an area that there's no traffic, no foot traffic, nobody going there. So this platform will actually give you those insights, as I said, across 31 countries, but definitely Australia. It's an Australian-owned business. And I do know that the Franchise Council of Australia, and this is where I heard about it because I was at one of their conferences on Monday, I was just enthralled about, wow, the intelligence you can get of understanding where your audience is and whether it's a good strategy to put your new office at Logan in Brisbane, and you can go and pop that information in here. I'm sure there'll be a fee. I know there will, but it's better to spend a bit of money on that great information, gather that data, than taking a guess or just a drive-by and assuming people are coming past you. So it's not for everybody. There's a bunch of people who do remote things and they work from home and those sort of things. But I just thought I'd share with you, Gap Maps is a platform that will actually help you to identify and research the validity of a location of your premises if you're looking at new premises or diversifying where you're hanging out. So just thought I'd share that with you. I thought it was pretty neat. Okay, just keep going, making sure there's no chat sitting there, questions coming up. Oh, it's gone back to Wayfinder. Let me just, I want to go to the next slide, please. Slide. Right. So the first thing, well, this is one of the tools that we use in Biz Bootcamp, and I wanted to show this to you because often when we're thinking about scaling, we actually need to understand what's the size that we are considering. What's the size of the market opportunity? So I'm actually going to go to that spreadsheet. I've just got to hop out for a sec. Bear with me, and I've got Excel. Oh, and wouldn't you know it? Excel decides not to work. There we go. Sales opportunity spreadsheet. This is going to open the actual spreadsheet you see on the screen. This is a really simple sheet. I'm just going to do one instance of it. So I want to give you a sense of how this works. This helps you with your goal setting. This helps you to understand what the scaling of the business might look like. So the spreadsheet is made up of an example, what it looks like when it's completed. So you can go and have a look at that. As I said, this is available through the Biz Bootcamp program. And this is the actual worksheet. Looks super busy, I know. So that's why we created do this one first. So the example is, let's say you want to, you need to go and do some research. Let me just give you an example. I'll put a live one in because it's in my head. When I formed a relationship with WBR Global Business School, this is about offering master's degrees to business owners and to people in corporate. I decided that I was going to target a particular audience. So I went to the census, the Australian Bureau of Statistics, and the census information. I've even got the links here for you to go to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, census information, and population data. So you need to go and find how many people. So let's say, for me, I went and did that research. I identified that the number of people that met that demographic, and the one that's in my mind at the moment is the number of women who are in middle management roles or in leadership roles in Queensland who do not have an MBA. I could actually find that information. It was 205,000 people. I type in 205,000 because that's the opportunity here in Queensland. What is the value of the income per person if I was lucky enough to sell it to all of those people? And I put in a $3,000 number. How many times would they buy that product from me each year? Only once. That's cool. But you can see, I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger for you. Oh, way too big. It is a value of $615 million. Now, that's clearly not going to be all of mine. What I need to put in here is how many competitors might offer a similar sort of program to those ladies. So what I'm talking about is how many other universities might be exposed to these women. And I put in the number 50. There's actually only 39 universities in Australia. So someone's coming in a bit late, but that's cool. So I put in 50. What that tells me is for that one product, for that one particular audience in Queensland, buy it once a year, the value opportunity, potential revenue opportunity for me for that part of that business in Navigate is $12.3 million. Now that most people, when they fill in this sheet, go, oh my God, I never realized the opportunity value was so high. This is to give you the sense that scaling is a viable opportunity for you. And if you think about it, well, I could then go and look at, well, what does it look like in New South Wales? What if it looks like in Queensland that are men who do not have an MBA? And that would then build me the entire opportunity. So this is to help you to identify or realize the size of the opportunity for you is always going to be so much bigger than you expect. Let's say you're looking at new homeowners. Let's say you're a finance broker doing residential home loans. Let's say you're doing it on the Gold Coast, and the opportunity is that there's 10,000, I'm guessing 10,000 people who apply for home loan on the Gold Coast in the year. The value of the opportunity to you, what income you're going to get out of it, I'm going to guess $1,500. How many times a year might they buy it? Once, because they only buy a home once a time. There's $15 million opportunity here. And let's say how many other brokers are on the Gold Coast? Let's say there's, I don't know, 35. Potentially for that one particular location, for that type of home loan, your market opportunity is 428,000. But I said it's only one area, one product. And then this sheet lets you go and look at the entire opportunity, because then you go different regions, different this, different that. So this is a sheet just helps you to see that the value of the opportunity you have for your business is always going to be way bigger than you realize. And so then you've got to think about, well, how do I achieve that? How do I manage that? So that's what this is all talking about. So there's no point in deciding to go and scale and grow your business. Your business has to be scalable. So do you have the systems in place? Do you have automation in place? Do you have value propositions? Do you have workflows? Now, some of this stuff might be going, well, what does all that mean? So let's go and explore what some of those things mean. Automation is king. I know for me, it staggers me how often business owners don't have a customer relationship management system. I would love to see in the chat, who of you do have a CRM, and it could be Salesforce, HubSpot, ActiveCampaign, Infusionsoft, Keep, Nimble. There are so many out there. It's not funny. If you say to me that, well, it's expensive, Joanne, it takes time, I'm going to say it's not expensive. They all start at zero cost. They all have a free version. They all allow workflows. They all have templates that you can put it in. This is a portion of the workflow that I've put into our CRM for the Sales Mastery Program. They're not hard to do. Yes, they take time, but as remember at the very beginning of this slide that, you know, the presentation was it needs commitment, focus, and consistency. This is one of those things that you absolutely have to have in place. Automation. You need to have a system that is a customer relationship management system. You need to have systems that are going to make life easier for you. So again, nobody's popped anything in the chat here, but I would love to hear who of you have a CRM in your business. A lot of people rely on Xero. Sorry, it's not a CRM. It's just not good enough. Spreadsheets will do. Yes, spreadsheets will do. Yep, awesome. Fabulous. I'm glad that you do. For those of you who need it, you can reach out to me. I've created a CRM in a spreadsheet. If you want to go down that path and use that to begin with, it will do all the things that you need it to do. Happy to have a chat to you about Dynamics. I've not heard of that. Cool. But there's so many. It's crazy how many there are. But it will absolutely take the heavy lifting off managing emails and talking to people. So I've got lots of chats coming in, which is fantastic. On my CRM, yeah. Look, there's so many. I'm just pleased to see that a number of you do actually have one. It surprises me how many, it might surprise you, how many people don't have one. So important to, hang on. I don't want to go to Canva. I want to go to the next slide. Thank you very much. Slide deck. So systems in place, CRMs, systems to help you to implement things easily, scheduling software for your social media strategies and implementation of your posts, scheduling software to load your blogs automatically, your advertising, your organic posts, your electronic direct mail outs, which you do through your CRM. All those things must be in place before you pull the plug on scaling and growing, collaborating with other people and really building the business. So I think one of the things that often gets missed, it does surprise me a little bit, is that a lot of people don't take the time to understand the profitability of every single product. So one of the things I'm going to be sending to you at the end of this presentation is our pricing product tools. I'm going to show you that in a sec. You need to go and do the research with your competitors. What are they charging as compared to yours? What value do they bring? What's the experience that your customers will experience with your competitor? How does it relate to yours? So when we're looking at your numbers, let's go. We're going to go and have a look at a spreadsheet now, and it's talking about what hours do you work? How many hours does it take you to create the product or offering that you deliver? How many hours to deliver it? How much time do you actually get paid for that delivery? Because a lot of people who do a service delivery could spend hours preparing a report, preparing whatever they're doing, and they're actually only charging for an hour for the delivery. So you need to manage your time. There's only so much you can do. But what would it look like if you 2 times, 5 times, or 15 times that work? So I'm going to go and jump out now. I'm going to show you another spreadsheet. Now, I know this presentation is taking longer, but it was always intended to be a slightly longer one. So this is a simple spreadsheet that I am going to send you. So a scaling scenario sheet, really, really simple. We've all got 168 hours in the day. Let's say it takes you 5 hours to create whatever the product is, whether it's putting a loan deal together, whether it's preparing a report, whether it's creating a product offering, to make a piece of pottery, to create a product or system. The time to deliver, how much time it takes you to actually service that and give it, have the appointment, go through the loan scenario, for example, might be an hour. How many times do you do that a week? Let's say you do it 10 times. So you've just spent 60 hours of your week. How much do you get paid for that? I don't know. I'm going to put $500 in because I'm not really sure. So what that means is you're going to spend 60 hours and you're going to earn, which is great, a week, a month, whatever the time it is. This is talking about a week. You're going to earn $5,000 and you're going to get paid $83 an hour because you spent 60 hours doing that. What if you 2 times that, 10? Let's say still takes you 5 hours, still takes you 1 hour to deliver it, but you deliver 20 of them and the product cost is $500. Can you see this has now said you're going to spend 120 hours in the week doing that? Yes, you'll earn $10,000, but is that sustainable? Yes, you can do 60. I'm sure you can, but can you on your own do 120 hours? I'm going to suggest not. If you implement technology, online, automation, build your team, collaboration, workflows, procedures, you can now still, with technology, it might take you an hour to deliver it, to create an hour to deliver. You can now deliver, let's say you go for 100. Why didn't that work? Why didn't that work? I want to go, sorry, there was an error in my sheet. Why isn't that working? Oh, sorry, product cost. That's helpful if I put that in. Sorry, my blank. So if you're going to deliver 100 of these, because you're going to build a team, you're going to spend amongst the team 200 hours. And if you've got a few, 2 or 3 staff, that's absolutely doable, right? But look what your income does. Look what your hourly rate does. This is what scaling does. You can deliver more. You're more efficient because you've got online automation, you've got workflows, you've got all these things, great procedures, takes you less time to create it potentially, still take the same amount of time to service and hand it over and, present the home loan opportunity, for example, but you can do so many more because you've got more people. And the hours is okay because you've got more people. Hopefully this makes sense. I'm going to send this to you because you need to put your numbers in to see what that looks like, because you might go, well, let's just go up 15. Well, it's 90 hours. Oh, I guess I can do it. Good income. But at this point, you might go, okay, now I need to start implementing these things. And maybe I'm going to build to be able to do that. So this is a sheet for you to just do a little bit of modeling to work out where do you spend your time now? How much are you getting paid for? How many hours are you doing? And then what does it look like when you multiply these things? So the cells in gray is what you will put the numbers in for. So yours will be blank when you get it. The other one I quickly want to show you is price your product. So nothing in the chat, good. So pricing your product, this is per product that you deliver. Now we've got a sheet and I'm going to send you this as well, product and service. So let's say it's a physical product. Let's say it's a pen. So what is the market going to pay for this pen? Oh, let's say it's not a pen, let's just go $250, this thing that you're making. And the cost to create the product, it might be raw materials, you might have to import it. Let's say it costs you $15 worth of raw materials to get that product ready to create, ready to get it to market. So your gross profit is $235. Now you need to go down here because there's a bunch of costs that you must take into account in the delivery of every product that you offer. So the cost of product, the raw materials are already there. We don't need to repeat that. Maybe there's some design, manufacture, some salaries, some postage, some transport. Let's say the design of it cost $2.50 for that one. Manufacture is $10. There's a direct salary. This is per product, remember. So we're scaling it down, right? Then maybe there's postage. It's $5 to post. Transport is $20. So it's totting it up and it's going to start putting these things in here. So then you've got to look at, well, what are the overheads of the business? How much do you pay in accounting fees per annum? Let's say $5,000. Let's say you pay $500 in bank fees. Internet, say $200 a month times 12, $2,400. It's a lease. I'm going to go really easy. $1,000 a week, $52,000. If you have a lease, not sure. That might be a bit high. Let's go 26 or 25. Postage you spend if it was separate to this postage, let's say it's nothing. Subscriptions, we all have a gazillion subscriptions, $100 a month. And marketing, you spend $1,000 a month, that's $12,000. So number of products. We are selling one product per month. So so this is a really extreme example, but this is why you need it, because it's going to tell you, it's going to annualize, it's going to break it down, and it's going to tell you you're going to make a massive loss because this product, you're selling it for way too little, and you're going to have too much expense being applied to that, and you're making no money. Too many people don't look at this to find out what does it cost to create it, how much of my overheads are going into. You need to always allow for the cost of the overheads for your business into your business to know, is this product worth me selling? If you sell more than one a month, you're in great. Let's say you sell 100 a month. Oh, sorry, that's 100. And we've got products per month, 100. So then, because we've put in 100 a month, it's now made it that overarching per product at 100 of these a month, it's costing you $38.42. You're actually making a very nice profit. So it becomes a volume gain. So if you went, oh, I'm only selling one of those a month, you're in a whole heap of hurt. But scaling and growing, I can sell 100 of them. I'm going to make good profit on that 100, that one product, selling 100 a month at a cost of a sale price of $250. You could say, well, maybe I'll pop it up. I'll just increase the price a little. Look what it does. So this is a tool that you should use for every product and every service individually, so that you can make sure that every one of your products and services are profitable. Super important before you scale. Really appreciate that you're hanging with me here. So I'm going to continue on. As I said, these tools will be sent to you. As you can see, there's a little video button which walks you through how to fill it in. So you don't need to remember. I've already embedded a video, so you can go and watch it and fill in these tools. So, how else do you scale your knowledge? Get online. So I came across an amazing platform called Learn Awesome. So this is a platform, just really quickly being mindful of time and getting, go to this external site. Any of these platforms are people that I talk to other than Wayfinder, because I am an accredited Wayfinder consultant. Everything else, Navigate don't receive any income out of that. This is an organization, again, based out of Brisbane. Steve Corney is his name, and they create for you, they convert your knowledge to online for you. So these are some examples. So I'll make sure that this link is here for you. It's just little demonstrations. There's some cartoon animations, there's some real, there's artificial intelligence, there's augmented reality. There's some amazing things that let you put your offering online, if that is one of your scaling strategies. So getting online could be a strategy that you implement. So I'm coming to the end. So why, one of the things that the summary of what we've done, really think about, why do you need to scale? Put a plan in place, get the structure right in regards to sole trader, company, etc. Prepare for your growth, get scalable, run your numbers, and run the scaling scenario spreadsheet. So those are all going to be sent to you so that you can actually go do that due diligence. So on its way is a recording link, your scaling tools, links to gap maps. I'll also put in the link to that online platform. For those of you who are brokers, is your CBD code. And then, as always, my gift to you is to go grab access to some of my time.